What is up, guys? It's Alex, and we're here talking about none other than my list of the 50 best and worst states, depending on how you see it. And let's start. We're gonna start with number 50, the worst state. So number one is best, number 50 is worst. And so we're gonna start off at number 50. Now that should come as a surprise to nobody. Number 50 on my list is Delaware. Why is Delaware so bad, you may ask? Well, the way I see it is Delaware has nothing that makes it distinct enough to be its own state, right? So you could divvy it up between like New Jersey, Maryland, Virginia, Pennsylvania, however you want, and it would be just the same thing. Delaware sucks. All right. We're on to number 49. Number 49 is West Virginia. Now, what's wrong with West Virginia, you may ask? It's beautiful and stuff like that. It's the people that ruin it for me. The people of West Virginia are just idiots. Like, every time I've been there, something stupid has happened. Like, okay, so I have my lactose intolerance, right? So I go to McDonald's and I ask, can I have like do you guys have like a non-dairy creamer? And the lady looked at me like I was like Hillary Clinton or something. Like I was the biggest liberal she had ever seen. Like one time my dad was driving there and he saw like a goat in the box in the back of a pickup truck. Like that's like the most hicky thing you'll ever see. My favorite story about West Virginia is like the first time I went there, right? Within a minute of passing through the state border, this guy came down with like a white pickup truck that was like breaking down, Confederate flags are blazing, and he passes us, and he's got like a tractor on the back of the trailer, and he passes us like going like at least 90 in this fast lane, and then like within a few seconds of that, the trailer like snaps and like you can just see it break, and he pulls over on the side of the road when we passed him. That was the first experience I got at West Virginia, literally within a minute of crossing over from Maryland. So that's why I got West Virginia at 49. Number 48 is Connecticut. Connecticut's another one that's just sandwiched between three better places, honestly. Rhode Island, Massachusetts, and New York. Connecticut's just a highway to get to better places, as is Delaware, but Delaware's just worse than it. Traffic in Connecticut's terrible. And yeah. So for 47, I've got Indiana. Now, Indiana you might expect to be like more towards the middle, but I'm just going to say that my experience with Indiana has been terrible at best. Like, so you go to Indiana, right? First off, you have to go through Ohio, which has nothing, but Indiana also has nothing. And then we went to Notre Dame, right? So we get to South Bend, and I just feel like all my hope is gone. Like, it's like you just feel no hope in South Bend, so it's terrible. And that's why I have Indiana so low, is because one, it has nothing, and two, the cities are terrible, like South Bend, Mishawaka. I've heard the same thing about like Gary, Indiana. Anyway, 46 is Arkansas. I don't really need to justify that. There's nothing in Arkansas. Literally nothing. Just a bad sports team, the University of Arkansas. Anyway, 45, Mississippi. Just like Arkansas. Name one thing that's in Mississippi. You couldn't name something. Anyway, 44 is Kansas. Kansas is so low because it's one of those places where, okay, yeah, sure has corn and stuff, but what makes Kansas City so low to me is it doesn't even have Kansas City. Missouri has Kansas City. Like it sure has kind of has like a part of Kansas City, like it's on the border, but like all the sports teams in Kansas City are in Missouri. So like if Kansas like doesn't even have like the best part of the city that bears its name, why should it be on like a good state, 43 is Oklahoma. I have Oklahoma so low because for the longest time I wrote this list out and I was at 49, and the one state I was missing was Oklahoma. It's just forgettable, honestly. It's in the middle of the country. It's forgettable. It has nothing that's around it but besides other things. The only thing it has is the Thunder and its football team, but it just has nothing really. So Oklahoma's 43. 42 is New Mexico. It's just a desert. Santa Fe, Albuquerque, cool. On to the next state, I guess. 41 is Iowa. Name one thing in Iowa. Like, what's in Des Moines? Have you ever heard anything about Des Moines? I haven't. Iowa's 41. 40 is Utah. Another thing. So, when I was at FBLA Nationals in Texas, I talked to some kids from Utah, because next year, for 2020 FBLA Nationals, is going to be in Salt Lake City. And they told us, yeah, consider not going because it's not going to be fun at all. And these are kids that are from Utah. Like, they were Mormons from Utah who told me that Utah sucks. Nothing really past that. I mean, I'm sure the scenery is beautiful and stuff, but I don't see anything much to do there. 39 is Louisiana. I know they have the nation's highest crime rate, incarceration rate, so yeah, so if like it's probably the most dangerous state, you probably shouldn't go there. I mean, I heard New Orleans is cool, but like they have Lonzo Ball playing basketball there. How cool can it be? So Louisiana sucks. 38 is Oregon. Now, Oregon is so low on my list because if you hear stories about like liberal protests that are like going violent and stuff like that with Antifa, they're happening in Portland, Oregon. Every one of them, Portland, Oregon. And what do they have besides like Wilderness and Portland, which has riots from Antifa? I'd rather go to a different state. 37 is Minnesota. Now I like hockey. Don't get me wrong, but like Minnesota doesn't really have anything going for it. Like sure they have the Mall of America, but every state has malls. I'm sure you probably are in there for a while and you're like, wait, what am I gonna do next? So Minnesota's pretty low on the list. Nothing special about it. It's just a cold northern state. 36, I have Alabama. Now Alabama would probably be lower on most other people's lists, like probably in the 40s. But I have it at 36 because I heard from my friend Eli that the beach there is pretty nice. And as you're gonna notice, having a good beach gets you pretty high on this list. So Alabama's pretty low though. 35 is Georgia. Atlanta's just terrible. Everyone knows that. Well, most parts of Atlanta, but I'm sure there's nice parts. There's nice parts of every city. There's nice parts of Chicago. But yeah, Georgia's low on this list. It's just kind of, too hot and just sucks. 34 is Michigan. My parents told me there's nothing in Michigan. I mean, would you really want to go to Detroit? I don't think so. But I'm sure there's nice parts like by the lakes and stuff like that. So that's why I have them high up because I like going to lake houses, and I'm sure there's a ton of those on the Michigan like coast of the lakes. Like, yeah, up here. There's probably nice stuff. Sault Ste. Marie is pretty nice. I heard. Dearborn is like full of refugees. I don't see a reason to go to Michigan. 33 is Washington State. Washington State, the weather is terrible. You always see it's raining there. Seahawks fans are annoying. The Mariners suck. They lost a basketball team to Oklahoma. Can they be that great if they can't support a team but they think Oklahoma can? Just some food for thought. 32 is South Dakota. I don't know why they're this high. I guess from Mount Rushmore, but I don't know why they're this high. Anyway, 32 is South Dakota. 31 is Alaska, because like they have beautiful stuff and stuff like that, so they could be higher. But do you really want to go to Alaska? It's freezing. Everything's more expensive there because they have to like take it there, and it takes a while to import it. So Alaska is 31. 30 is New Hampshire because of mountains, and if it's on the East Coast, it's probably pretty good because the East Coast is good. Yeah, they're pretty much one of those ones that's in the middle, give or take. 29 is North Dakota. They have the highest man-made structure in America. It's like this telephone pole. It's pretty cool. They have the Badlands. That's pretty cool. Their college has like hockey, and they have North Dakota State has a good FCS team. I don't know. They're an average state. I'm sure there's like nice scenery and stuff, so that's why I have them high. 28 is Nebraska. Nebraska would be much lower, but I know some people from Nebraska, like one of my good friends, Marshall, Skeety McZip. I know you're going to be watching this video. He's from Nebraska, and he's the man, so met some other cool people from Nebraska on FBLA states, and so that's why I have them towards the middle, rather than being low. 27 is Montana. Another one of those ones where people are like, what's the purpose of Montana? Well, yeah, Montana has like a ton of farmland and stuff like that, and they're worth being part of the country. Like they have national parks out there and stuff like that. There's a ton of hunting out there, wildlife. It's got that frontier thing that is just what makes America America. So that's why I have Montana higher than you'd expect on the list. 26, I have Idaho. And Idaho, you may be wondering, why is Idaho so high on this list? There's nothing in Idaho. Well, I really like potatoes, baked potatoes with French fries I like, home fries, shredded potatoes, hash browns, breakfast potatoes. Where does that come from? Idaho. So that's why they're high on my list. Higher than you expect, I should say. 25, we're at the halfway point, and I have Kentucky. Now you may be thinking, what's in Kentucky? I don't know, but my dad was like really mad at me when I had it low on my list, so I put it up higher. 24, we've got Missouri. You're taking down suitcases in the middle of my video?
Way to go, Ohio.
We'll get to them soon. right, now that he's gone. 24 is Missouri. So Missouri, you may be thinking there's nothing in Missouri, but they took Kansas City from Kansas, so there must be something in Missouri. I've kind of got a bone to pick with Missouri because they they kind of in part caused a civil war, low key. So I don't really like them for that. But Missouri, I mean, okay, but think of it this way: if the Civil War didn't happen, slavery wouldn't have been abolished. So like, I don't know, Missouri's pretty important for that. So you can't do that without Missouri. So Missouri's at 24. 23, we've got Illinois. Oh, and I want to say with Missouri too. I went to their airport in St. Louis. It was a nice airport. I gotta say, it's probably my favorite airport I've been to. So that's kind of like why they're higher up on the list. Not gonna lie. Anyway, 23 is Illinois. There's a lot to do in Chicago, a lot to do in the area, but other than that, Illinois has nothing. And having cities helps you on this list. And when Illinois only has Chicago and nothing else, they're going to be lower, like comparative to cities that you'd expect to like be higher on the list. So Illinois is pretty low. 22, I've got Ohio. I drove through Ohio. It had nothing, but Ohio has Cleveland, Columbus, Cincinnati. So there's got to be some stuff to do around there. They call Cleveland the mistake on the lake for a reason, but I still got them pretty high up. I know a lot of people who like Ohio, so yeah, Ohio's pretty high on the list comparatively to other states that are like it. 21 is Tennessee. I've been there with an asterisk because I've been to the Nashville airport. There was live music in the airport. I heard Nashville's really cool city, so I've got Tennessee high on the list because I want to go there one day. And flying over it, yeah, it seemed like pretty nice because there was a bunch of lakes and stuff like that. And I like lakes, so anyway. 20 is Rhode Island. Now, if you know me, you'd expect Rhode Island to be a little higher than this, but I'm a realist. Providence sucks. Like, the college is cool. I like the college. But the city is pretty shitty, not gonna lie. And Rhode Island also has Newport, which is a really nice city on the water. I really like New England. I like seafood and stuff like that. So that's what puts Rhode Island higher up on the list. 19, I have Nevada. Now, Nevada may have nothing besides aliens and desert, but they have Las Vegas, and I heard Las Vegas is cool. My parents have been there. My friend Matt's from there. There's a lot to do in Las Vegas, and so yeah, Nevada's number 19 when all things are considered. 18, I have Wyoming. Now, people are like, what? You have Wyoming? That's like nothing in Wyoming. No, Wyoming has a ton of national parks, a ton of beautiful scenery. If you talk to my good friend Marshall, it'd probably be number 1 on his list. So Wyoming's pretty high because I want to go there really bad because I want to see the mountains and stuff like that in the forest. Yeah, Wyoming's high on my list. 17, you're probably waiting for this one to come up for a while now, but 17 is New Jersey. I am from New Jersey. I like New Jersey. I like the culture in New Jersey. I like Hunterdon County a lot. I like where I'm from a lot. My favorite sports team is from New Jersey. It's close to New York, close to a big city. People talk so much crap on New Jersey, and I don't really blame them, but they have beaches, which helps. But yeah, New Jersey's actually higher on the list than you may expect. 16, I've got Vermont. Now, Vermont, there's a lot of stuff to do in Vermont. There's lakes, there's mountains, there's hiking. It's one of those places that's like Wyoming, where it's going to be like you're going to be out there hiking, you're going to be outdoors, stuff like that. That's Vermont. So Vermont's at 16. 15, we've got Arizona. There's a lot of golf courses. People will be like, oh, it's mostly desert, but no, there's a ton of cities in Arizona, like Phoenix, Tucson, Flagstaff, Mesa. Arizona's a cool state, I heard. So I've got them at 15. Now, 14 is Wisconsin. Now, you may be wondering, why is Wisconsin this high? You're an idiot. Wisconsin's nothing. But no, I've been to Wisconsin okay, so we went to Chicago, then we kind of drove to Wisconsin, got cheese, then left Wisconsin. But we also went to this place called Lake Geneva in Wisconsin, and it was like towards the bottom of it, but it was still really nice. We went to the lake and stuff like that. It was beautiful, and nice little town. I'm sure every state before this has a town like that, but after having been there, I can without a doubt put Wisconsin pretty high on my list. With 13, I have California. Now, so California, here's my quarrel with it. I really want to go there, but the states run stupidly, and I don't know. It's like when you think of California, you think like oh, beautiful beaches, movies, stuff like that. But you also like have to understand, I don't know. It's a crazy place. Everyone in California, they kind of have this I don't know. You meet someone from California that you kind of they have this cockiness about them and stuff I don't know. I don't like it. 12, I have Maryland. Now, when I had first made this list, Maryland was in my top 10. Dare I say, well, I'm not going to say where it really was because that'll piss people off. But Maryland is a good state. They have good beaches. I like it there. The temperature is perfect in my opinion. Maryland's high on my list. 11, I have South Carolina for places like, like Myrtle Beach. I have family in Charleston. It's a nice area. I like South Carolina. I like the temperature there. It's a good place. Number 10, I have Colorado. Shout out to Gabe. Colorado is, not only does it have like Denver, Boulder, Colorado Springs, places like that, Aurora, it has everything in Colorado. Now, I haven't really been there yet, so I can't really say, but from looking at, like, you can hike in Colorado, you can do a ton of stuff in the winter in Colorado, there's national parks, there's places you can go fishing and stuff like that, and there's cities, like, there's Denver, Boulder, so, like, Colorado kind of has everything going for it, so they're high on my list. They have sports in Colorado. 9 is Massachusetts. I love Massachusetts. Cape Cod is nice. Boston is one of my favorite cities. Yeah, Massachusetts is high on my list. I don't really have anything against it besides it gets cold in the winter, but I play hockey. There's places to ski out west in Western Mass, so yeah, Massachusetts is high on my list. 8, we've got New York. So New York is pretty high on my list too because having a city helps. So New York, if you can name it, you can do it in New York. There's hiking, there's lakes, there's the Finger Lakes in New York, there's beaches on Long Island, stuff like that. New York City, everyone wants to have visited New York City, so New York's high on the list. 7, we've got Hawaii. Do I need to explain that really? I've never been there, but do I really need to explain why Hawaii is number 7? I don't really think so. It's paradise, 6, we've got Florida. Now that's controversial because people hate Florida. My friend Will commented on Carson's post saying that his number 50 is Florida. You hear all those articles like, oh, Florida man, Florida man. Look at all those beaches. Even over here in Pensacola, Florida Keys, you're that close to the Bahamas. It's a place that'll keep you on your toes, that's for sure. But yeah, I've been to Florida. I love it. So now here we go. Top 5. Number 5, I've got Texas. A Lone Star State. I've only been to San Antonio in Texas, but it's a really nice place. It's really cool. The people are so nice down there. Southern hospitality is real. We're gonna get into that more in the top 4, but yeah, Texas is high on my list. It was a really nice place. It's nice and hot. Yeah, I don't really have anything bad to say about it. Number 4, we've got North Carolina. Now you're probably wondering, why is North Carolina so high? The Outer Banks are so nice. So nice. The temperature there is perfect. The beaches there are so nice. It's got cities like Raleigh and Charlotte. North Carolina's high. Number 4. Number 3, we've got Virginia. So for Virginia is number 3. I really like it there. I like the beaches. Chesapeake Bay is beautiful. The bridges going over Chesapeake Bay, you can look out over the bay and stuff like that. It's beautiful. Richmond's a nice city. Virginia Beach isn't really not a nice city, but it's a nice beach. Yeah, I really like Richmond. And even out west, like in the Shenandoahs and stuff like that, out by Lexington and Harrisonburg, it's a really nice state. And number 2, I've got my home state, Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania has everything, honestly. It's got Lake House and the Poconos, stuff like that. Out west, there's so many mountains. Pittsburgh's a nice city. Philly's okay. But Pennsylvania, you can do everything in Pennsylvania. You really can. I like living there. I genuinely do. And number 1, this may surprise you. It's not even on here. Number 1 is Maine. I love Maine because I love seafood. Love New England. Lobster's amazing. They've got cheap there. Acadia National Park is amazing. Maine's my number 1. It's a perfect it's a really good temperature there in the summer. It's not beating down you hot. I can't say enough good things about Maine. That's my number 1. All right, guys. So there's my list. We fit this in at just 20 minutes, and hope you guys enjoyed. And feel free to debate me.